Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to first start by thanking Larry, Andre, and Børge and the Forum team for putting together a remarkable week, to say the least. As we reflect on the global outlook, uncertainty has weighed heavily on expectations. Expectations about growth, inflation, debt, trade, investment, and of course, geopolitical risk. Yet the reality has been more resilient than expected. Despite uncertainty, the global economy has endured, adjusted, and continued to move forward. But what is clear, and perhaps clearer this year than ever before, is what has surfaced as we have tried, often repeatedly, to tackle these challenges. Pragmatism has become scarce. Trust has become increasingly transactional. Collaboration is narrowing and, in fact, sometimes losing momentum. And too often voices speak, but fewer are truly heard. And if we think about it, if we think about stability, stability can't be quickly built, and it can't be bought. Stability needs to be founded, nurtured, protected, reinforced, and guided. Stability is non-negotiable. When trust and collaboration are genuine, they compound over time, reinforcing one another so that progress holds when circumstances change. This is where the focus must shift. Like our colleague said, not towards the status quo, but towards the ingredients that make collaboration actually count. Being pragmatic and thinking long-term, with the discipline to follow through beyond intent and ambition, and the persistence to remain engaged even when views diverge, especially when views diverge. No single convening, no matter how well-intentioned, will resolve every global challenge. But each time there's an opportunity for all of us to be resolute and deeply invested, and for us to build the culture that allows cooperation to function in the first place. A culture that nurtures strength and progress, and unlocks the potential of the global economy in all its diversity. Every country, every region, and every economy. To stand shoulder to shoulder and confront complexity, work through it, rather than force or accept artificial convergence or watered down consensus. When confronted with uncertainty, our late founding king, King Abdulaziz, once said, "Al-Quwwa al-Quwwa la barakallah bil-dha'f," which captured a simple yet powerful idea. Facing challenges requires strength and confidence to move forward, especially when conditions are difficult. For there is no virtue in weakness. We cannot sit idle and wait for decisive moments. We cannot keep talking about multiple futures. What future do we want to see? And what are we going to do to get there? Seriously and repetitively. As much as we want to believe this boxing match will end with a knockout blow, reality keeps reminding us and teaching us that this is the full 12 rounds. And it is in this spirit that I'm honored to extend an invitation to you to join us in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for the World Economic Forum Global Collaboration and Growth Meeting this April, under the patronage of His Royal Highness, Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman. This forms part of an ongoing effort that builds on the momentum of the World Economic Forum special meeting held in Riyadh, and more importantly, on the platform Saudi Arabia has become, a global capital of pragmatism and of consequence. At a time when the global economy is confronting long-standing structural challenges, this effort helps move cooperation from intent to outcome, by setting clear expectations, anchoring responsibilities, and ultimately making dialogue count. See you all in Jeddah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. It has been a remarkable week, and we owe an enormous thanks to all of the folks who work at the World Economic Forum. But right now it is my privilege to introduce Børge. Of course, he is the President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, to the stage for some final remarks for this remarkable week. Please.
Thank you, Andrew Sorkin. Thank you to this great panel. I'm so proud that the 3 women on the panel is also on our board of directors, Christine, Dr. Ngozi, and Kristalina. So we really have great supervision and inspiration. Dear friends, it's surreal that it's Friday and we're seeing the end of the meeting. I thank you all for participating in this annual meeting very actively. And a special thank you to our 2 co-chairs, Andrea Hoffman and Larry Fink, for exceptional cooperation. And I tell you, they have really worked tirelessly and very committed to make this annual meeting happen, and also to the real mission of the World Economic Forum. And of course, as Andrew already mentioned, I send like a monumental thank you to my all colleagues at the World Economic Forum that we pulled off this meeting. I'm so proud. Thank you. The forum is in my view at least, the world's leading platform for multi-stakeholder dialogue on the most complex and often contested issues of the day. We convene, as we have seen during these days, very diverse voices from across governments, business and civil society, which means that we do see not always agreement. Sometimes we really see strong disagreements. That's okay, because the purpose of the week and the forum's work over the year is to create a trusted space for dialogue. Dialogue is a prerequisite for moving the world forward. If you don't even have a dialogue, you will not see any results. We are not supposed to be like an echo chamber of consensus. Unlocking like potentials for responsible AI, as the panel touched on, strengthening markets, facilitating engagements to address conflicts, discussing how to reach real inclusive growth and also wealth trickling down, happen if decision makers who do not always see eye to eye talk to each other. This type of dialogue, real dialogue, is never easy. It requires patience, commitment, and creativity. But it is really necessary, because the absence of discourse deepens division. I think pages of history has shown us that it is really filled with walls rising and tension mounting at times, but also of leaders working to find areas of agreement in challenging moments. I think that's what we have seen also during this week. I'm really so heartened to see that this year's annual meeting convened 3,000 participants from 130 countries, 830 CEOs and chairs, 64 heads of state and government, and the numbers were growing every day during the meeting. It's a record. It is a real testament to the fact that one of the most complex global moments in generations, leaders were committed and inspired by our theme, a spirit of dialogue. It is my hope that we can carry this forward in the year ahead and beyond, and the first test will be in the spring Davos in the Kingdom in Jeddah, 22nd of April. I have to admit, relieved, but also inspired and very thankful. And I would like the 2 co-chairs, if you don't mind, to join me here on stage so we can give them also a big hug and applause and thank them. Thank you.
So a very special moment, as you can see, closing the first meeting where I was acting as a co-chair. spirit of dialogue, indeed, but I'm going to do a little sort of change. I'm going to separate you into two. On one side, there's our members, and thank you for coming. I think you've heard me saying that a couple of times during the week. Without you, we are nothing. So we really count on you to come and say, I mean, I talk for those who are still here, of course, because quite a number of you have left. But thank you very much for doing this. And then the staff. I mean, to pull off something like we just experienced, where the spirit of dialogues and the 5 strategic priorities we're taking out into such a sophisticated outcome needs an enormous amount of energy. And this is a human quality that I really found in everybody in the staff. So please, join me in clapping for them. They have done a fantastic job. Taking people from all over the world and bringing them together in the wonderful town of Davos with the support of the Federal Confederation and Graubünden is a remarkable achievement. Thank you.
I would just say thank you to all of you. But more importantly, the big thanks is to the 1,000 members of the World Economic Forum who made this all happen. To pull this all together, making sure all the sessions work, making sure that we are consistent across all the different presentations and content. Even we had better music this year, we had better food this year. We did not have better traffic. That's something we're going to have to work on. But really a great thanks of gratitude to all the members of the World Economic Forum pulling this off. None of us could have done this ourselves. Hopefully you all saw the great collaboration between Andre and Børge and myself. It really worked. And lastly, I just want to, because I thought it was so profound, I want to end this forum with a quote that Elon Musk said in closing yesterday's session, that it's better to be an optimist and wrong than be a pessimist who's right. So on that note, enjoy, see ya.